I don't want to sound morbid, but some things cannot be adapted. They simply can't be. Please to people's expectations. Like, it can't be a one-to-one for everything. Actually, nothing can be a one-to-one. Like, everyone has a different perspective of things, and when you try to change a formula to bring an entirely different community, you just can't port the same thing one-to-one because it won't work. There's the One Piece adaptation that released a trailer recently, and a lot of people are criticizing it already. I mean, I'm not judging them for doing so. Some things are weird, odd decisions, but an adaptation simply cannot be one to one. It cannot be. It's not because it's Netflix, it's not because it's whoever, it's because it's an adaptation. Like, even the anime to the manga isn't the same. Same goes for Berserk. The anime and the manga isn't the same. You can't get and catch the same tones. It's simply not doable. Like, one of my favorite mangas, Oyazumi Punpun, simply cannot be adapted. It's too violent, too psychological, and mentally draining to be adapted and be seen by masses of people. That's why mangas are so valuable, because some mangas simply cannot be adapted. It's not that they're too gore, too violent. No, it's really the psyche that's being attacked. It's too much. When I was reading Naruto, it wasn't the same as when I was watching it. Maybe I'm a manga elitist, but I just prefer mangas almost all the time. Maybe it's because it's directly the author's vision. There's no adaptation, there's no change of ideas. The pacing is what it's meant to be. A lot of scenes in One Piece actually fall into this category of, not being the same, just being something entirely different. Like, there's this scene where Luffy he doesn't predict it. He just tells the whole island that he's going to one-shot this guy, and he proceeds to do so. And in the anime, the last punch was so hard to land that it almost seemed like the enemy had a chance. Even though Luffy called it, he said he was going to one-shot him, he wasn't going to leave him a single chance, and he just went after him. Yet many people who only watched the anime thought that this fight was really equal. Like, both of them were on par, or even the one that got one-shotted was stronger than Luffy. And that can only happen because the vision of what happened has been changed. Why can this happen? Because it's an anime. Reading a manga is pretty faster than watching an episode. It just can be summed that way, because you have to think that they have to reuse one chapter that takes you about 10 to 15 minutes to read and adapt it to be 20 minutes. So they have to stretch some parts so they can make it to 20 minutes. And some scenes just aren't the same. Another example from One Piece is Katakuri. Katakuri stabs himself, and when it happens, it's really shocking because you just don't see it coming. He doesn't prevent you that he's going to do it. It just happens, and you're just shocked because he has so much honor that he stabs himself because people interfered in his duel with Luffy. And that's just the kind of guy he is. He has honor. And it's not even that he's usually like this. Like, no, it's because from the get-go, he was stronger than Luffy, and Luffy lasted hours. Even though Luffy was significantly weaker, Luffy still had his chance. So when the antagonist realized how close this fight was and how valiant, yeah, let's just stick with this. I know it's a proper word, I don't know if it's good in English, but hey, it's fine that way. He just sees it in Luffy, this courage, and before he does this that he has respect for him, and when he does it, it amplifies it because you're shocked, you don't see it coming, it's brutal, and you get no warning. You know, in the anime, he sets into position, he almost warns you, and it's not instant. It's actually, it lasts 8 seconds. 8 seconds might not seem this big, but when something is meant to shock you and be instant and leave you sitting there like clueless, what the fuck just happened? And you know, you're just looking at the panel and just, whoa. Like, if this was done right, I would have paused the episode and been like, whoa, what the fuck? But no, he positions himself like you see it coming, and it loses all of its value. Not all of it, because you still have immense respect for Katakuri to be doing this. It's kind of lackluster, especially if you only watch the anime, because you don't get what the author actually wants you to see. And that goes along with Berserk too. You don't see a lot of violent scenes because they're too violent for anime. Too gore, too inappropriate. And it's not just about seeing them, it's about knowing what happens. Like, why is Guts this way? Why does Guts hate being touched so bad? Well, it's mentioned. It's not just his character, it's just he went through a lot, and you know, it's actually exposed why. And, you know, that's why his relationship with Casca is so important, because he usually hates being touched to an extreme point. You know, whenever he gets touched, he has his hand on the sword. Instantly, he's ready to kill. And it's not like he doesn't have his PTSDs when he's with Casca, it's that he tries to overcome them. And that's the beautiful thing. He doesn't just, you know, gets over it. He tries to get over it, and it's a challenge. But you know, when they adapted it, it wasn't this way, because we had some missing pieces. Let's talk about Tokyo Ghoul. You know, there's a reason why Tokyo Ghoul Re sucks so bad, because all of the things that were necessary for Tokyo Ghoul Re were meant to be in Tokyo Ghoul Season 1 and Season 2. But they decided, oh, it's not that important, so let's just forget about it and, you know, never bring it up. But oh, we have to do a Season 3. Well, shit, now it's important. Damn, I guess we'll do it now. See, that's why an adaptation can't be a one-to-one. Like, it's meant to be cinematic, grandiose, and sometimes that is meant to be earned when you read it. It's not just you get it because it's a show, you know, it's a movie. No, it's you have to stick true and have to go through all the hurdles, through the challenges, and you know, that's why I believe One Piece is meant to be, you know, you're meant, if you really want to watch One Piece, you have to be up to date. Because the biggest thing about One Piece is, you know, being up to date and living the same struggle that everyone is going through. You know, waiting for the next chapter, and as soon as a chapter comes out, everyone is going crazy. Like, holy shit, that just happened. This reveal is so massive, man. It changes the whole story. Well, yeah, because it's One Piece. You know, every chapter is really shifting the whole direction of the story, because you never know where Oda is going. You know, there's a bunch of foreshadowing, but sometimes you just can't tell. Yeah, going back to Oyazumi Pun Pun, that's just not adaptable, because of this thing is just not meant to be easy to read. Like, I really love it. It's like in my top 10, but I just can't give it a good score, because it's not something that's enjoyable. It's something that you look back upon and you're happy you're better than before you've read it. The things that are easy aren't the things that give you an easy payback or the best payback. Anyways, all that to say that there's a reason why you simply can't adapt One Piece to be a live action. I'm not saying that it's going to be trash, it's not going to be good. I honestly don't care about it. It's going to be what it's going to be, and in my opinion, the only reason this even is a thing is to bring more people to One Piece, because a lot of people don't enjoy mangas, cartoons, which is understandable. They prefer anime, and a lot of people just don't like anime because it's too cartoony and they just don't like the Japanese style. They prefer regular American cartoons, and no disrespect to it, to each their own. But this adaptation isn't meant to be enjoyed by manga readers or anime watchers because they're already fans of One Piece. It's about bringing more people. Because funnily enough, even with the highest selling manga ever, One Piece isn't even that well known in comparison to Dragon Ball and Naruto, or even Bleach. I'd say Bleach is more popular than One Piece, somehow. I'm not saying that Bleach is shit or anything, it's just that it's weird. The number one manga isn't even that popular, because it's so long that it just pushes so many away. But that's also why the live action is important, so that some people are like, oh, well, there's this short version. It might be good. I don't know. I'll try it. And they might enjoy it. They might not. Now, maybe it's going to be more their cup of tea because it's going to be less cartoony, less childish than what One Piece is originally. Because that's what I think it's going to be. Just looking at Buggy, it looks creepy as fuck. But I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's different. And I'm honestly going to watch it because it's different. I watched this guy that only reads One Piece and he doesn't even watch the anime, and he just says that it's going to be a failure on release, and it might not. I'd rather have no expectations than expect failure, because it's not even targeted to us. That's what Oda said himself. It's not about bringing the OG fans, it's about bringing more people. Some scenes won't be the same, of course they won't, but they're not meant for us. And that's what an adaptation is meant to be, not a one-to-one, something different.